So hello all and welcome. It is I, the realist philosopher. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right actually. I'm feeling better, a lot better than I did say a week and a half ago. So I wanted to update you guys on my condition. First of all, for those of you who don't know what my condition is or what this video is an update about. Not too long ago, I got injured. Something that seemed like a relatively minor injury, but it turned septic. I ended up in a coma, went into septic shock, had a heart attack, spent a month in the hospital, almost died, almost lost my leg. It was very bad. So I'm lucky to be here. So thank you for watching, and thank you to everybody out there who's donated to date. So I've been spending the past month and a half now trying to recover. I was actually getting worse there for a while. I was getting better, a little better. After about 2 weeks out of the hospital, then I decided to start exercising again to try and regain my health and fitness. A bad idea. It was too soon and it was too much. About a week ago, I cut back big time to like a quarter of what I was doing exercise-wise, and went to going from 3 days of exercise to 1 day of rest. So a 3-in-1, 3 exercise, 3 rest, 3 exercise, 3 rest which was a really bad idea. That's what I was doing before. I even got sick, and that's why I was going downhill instead of recovering, and went to one every other day. So exercise 1 day at a quarter of what I was doing, and then a day of rest. So went from 6 to 3 and a quarter of what I had been doing at that. So huge reduction, not only in time spent exercising every week, every session, but also a huge reduction in the amount of sessions. And this past week, I've just been feeling a lot better, been improving. It's a noticeable difference. I'm able to, I have a little more energy. It's not like, I wouldn't say profound, but I am actually improving. I can see the improvement day by day. Everything is still difficult, but the improvement is there. And so I know what the issue was. I'm also trying to eat better, get more red meat. I'm on a carnivore diet, and I went to my storage unit. I got all my supplements out of storage. If you're on a carnivore diet, you have to get your supplements, especially your B vitamins and your vitamin D and the electrolytes that are not in the electrolyte drink that I drink on a daily basis. Because if you're on a carnivore diet, electrolytes are pretty difficult to get. So yeah, I'm doing what I can. I'm maxing out on the supplements and electrolytes and getting a lot more rest. So I'm seeing improvement. So just going to stay on this path, and based on what I'm seeing, I'll continue to improve. How long until I'm at a point where I can actually go back to work, part-time, let alone full-time? That I don't know. Considering, how I feel and what I am able to do as compared to what I was able to do 3-4 months ago, I figure 3 to 4 months before I can go back to work part-time. So that's not great news, but that means, based on my current level of improvement, how I essentially, interpret it. I sat down and did the complications based upon how I feel, and how I interpret the improvement on a percentage level, and based upon my current level of improvement, when will I be in good enough shape to go back part-time, full-time? Oh geez, 6 to 8 months, I think. You got to remember, septic shock is real serious, and couple that with a heart attack. It takes a long time to recover. So that's why I hope some of you guys out there would consider making a donation to my GoFundMe. Uh, what I didn't put into GoFundMe, insofar as uh, is the medical bill, which I just got, which was almost 105 grand, and I had to bid them down significantly. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, they got you sick and ill, so you should. They're responsible for your secondary infection." So, you want to learn more? Go back, and you don't have to go back too far. You'll see some of my prior videos. I'll put them maybe in the end screen, so you can click on them, give you more information. So they should give you more discount. You used to sue them. There's a different hospital, guys. So there were 2 hospital visits. One initially where I thought I had improved, and then 3 weeks later I ended up, collapsing, and at a different hospital. So those of you saying, you should, get the hospital who gave you your care after you went into comatose vegetative state, baby. That I should get them to, I should sue them and get them to knock it down even more. It's a different hospital. So, but anyway, as far as my future plans, I'd like you to give me your thoughts. So I'm thinking of 2 different things. So before I moved here to Montana, I was actually, in fact, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, thinking about moving to Alaska, Anchorage more. Specifically, a bigger city than Billings here by a good 50%, more industry, and but it's definitely colder. But that said, it's a place I wouldn't mind going. I'm currently looking at housing there now, and housing is a lot easier to acquire there. Probably because nobody wants to go there. Who the hell wants to go to Anchorage, Alaska? Minus 70, baby. But it's something I would like to do, and there's a lot of cabins and remote rentals out there that aren't too expensive. So that would be like heaven to me, getting away from, all the hubbub, all of the rigmarole, all of the people, and isolating myself from the wilderness and just being able to work on recovering better. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. And also going back to Phoenix. Now, there are some pluses and minuses there. Pluses is there's just tons of freaking people. There's a reason I left Phoenix. There's a reason I wanted to get away from Phoenix. Lots of crime, lots of idiots, overpopulation, worker surplus. So work is difficult to find, especially for somebody my age when I do want to get back to work. So those are a lot more minuses actually than pluses. But there was a lot of housing. It wouldn't be difficult to find housing there. It would be more difficult than Alaska, though. Alaska doesn't have as big a worker shortage as, say, Billings, Montana, but it does have a worker shortage. Housing is easier to find. So work would be easier to find as well when I do recover. Less idiots, less congestion. Crime, I mean, if you're in the city itself, yeah. If you're outside in the boonies, which is most of the state, not really. So there's probably more pluses. I'm already a lot closer. From Phoenix, it would have been 3,600, but now it's about 2,400 mile drive. So it would take me about 3 days. So a couple nights in some roadside motels, and I'd be there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as where I want to go. It was like my number one top choice before. It was my number one top choice until I started looking at like the amalgamation of people, the ethnic makeup, you could say. And it was a lot more mixed in Anchorage, Alaska, and the surrounding area than Anchorage, Alaska, the surrounding area is still whitey. But it was a lot more mixed than I wanted. But now that I've been here in Montana, where it's majority whitey, it's like, I'm not as concerned about that. These people, the vast majority I've met, don't impress me. So it's like, it's not as advantageous to be in a culturally homogenous area that has like-looking people as yourself. Not seeing the real benefits. They're not all that noticeable. So yeah, I'm really okay with a bit more of a mix because I'm not seeing the advantages of more of my own people being those that are surrounding me. But anyway, that's where I am. I found out what the problem was, why I was actually going downhill. Too much exercise and too soon, not enough rest days, pushing myself too hard. And so now that I'm seeing improvement, as gradual as it might be, I'm feeling better, and I'm actually able to make more content now. I feel up to it. That's about all I feel up to it. I don't want to do anything else. I don't feel like doing anything else. I try to do much more. It's everything is still difficult, but the improvement is there. The energy levels are increased, and I'm feeling better minutely on a daily basis. So yeah, I found the path. I found the way. I found where my limits are, exercise wise, activity wise, and every week I'll push them. Like maybe every other week. It'll depend on how I feel. If I push too far and I feel my energy levels start to go down some, that I'll make adjustments and ratchet my activity down. So, like, where I am now, like maybe next week I'll try increasing by like 10% overall my amount of exercise. See how I feel after each session. If it's too much, ratchet it back down, maybe 5%. If I feel fine, then I'll do that for 2 weeks, revisit, and then maybe another 10%. And then once each of the 3 days a week I'm exercising now is back up to the same amount of exercise that I was doing on a daily basis. So like an hour, 15 an hour, 20 minutes was what I would exercise every day before I got sick. So once those 3 workouts a week are up to that level, then maybe I can consider throwing in an extra day. So 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1. So, I have every week or about every week like a session where, a part of the week where it's 2 days back to back of exercise, and that one added day would be the 10% of the total I'm doing at that time per week, and do that for a couple weeks, see how I feel, and then gradually increase the length of that day until it's back up to where I was before I got ill, and then maybe consider introducing another day, 10%, and so on and so forth. But it would be 10% instead of it would be 10% of what I'm doing at that time in total. And do that gradually. And that's going to, of course, take many months, half a year. You're looking at about 6 to 8 months to get back to exercise-wise, fitness-wise, health-wise, activity-wise, where I was before I got ill. Maybe longer, depending on whether or not I have any, regression where it's like, oh no, this is too much, and then I have to take a couple weeks where I back things off. So it could take a while. But that's the vehicle to improve my health. That's where I am right now, health-wise. Pretty much found the way, and I'm going to incrementally increase my activity. I'm going to very closely watch how I feel, how my heart feels, especially and my energy levels, and decrease based on that, and increase if there's no deleterious effects of any, particular type, how I feel, energy levels based upon raising activity levels. So it's going to take a while. It's incremental. That's the way, not just jumping back into trying to do exactly what I was doing before I was ill, which was stupid, and that's why I was going downhill enough. And I still don't feel great, not good, but it's better and improving, so I found the way. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out on that note. Please consider making a donation. I know I probably look so great and so wonderful. You think there's nothing wrong. No, I put on a brave face, but I feel terrible. My chest is starting to hurt right now making this video, but that's life. I'm good at putting on a brave face, but I could really use your help. So if you can afford it, Please consider making a donation. GoFundMe is in the description. And I am the Realist Philosopher. I'm going to head out, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.